What up? What up, man? Hey, what tribe you from, man? You don't know? Oh, I thought you were Jewish.
Say again?
I said I thought you was a Jew. I wonder what tribe you came from.
I come from the tribe of Levi.
Tribe of Levites? I thought Levites was the Haitians, man.
No, I think I'm Levi.
You sure?
Pretty sure.
See the fringes,
I see your fringes.
the blue ribbon?
Where you from?
I'm from the tribe of Judah.
Oh, wow.
But this the thing though. I thought God's people went into slavery on slave ships, right? So if they went into slavery on slave ships, that only fits the Mexicans, the Native Americans.
They were brothers, but they had different descendants, and they
Right.
will always be brothers.
Esau came out red and hairy like a hairy garment. And
King David also had right here.
King David was ready, but
Right.
King David from the tribe of Judah, that's the so-called Negroes.
No, right. He was king of Israel. Only someone from the tribe of Judah can be king of Israel.
Right. King Solomon is his son.
Right.
Also a tribe of Judah.
I'm gonna run inside because it's
There, I was just hollering at you, dog.
okay, good, thank you.
Shalom. I want to start off by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, coming at you with a lesson in a quick cut. Blasphemy of the Jewz, man. You know, every time, I see these imposters out, in the streets, going about, it does something to me, man. It highly upsets me to know that these, imposters are taking the recognition of being, the true children of Israel, being the children of the Most High, the chosen seed. These cave beasts, man. I'm going to dive straight into some scriptures, because at the end of the day, we got to remind ourselves that, whatever one may reap, he's going to sow. And they're definitely going to sow, pretending to be, the chosen seed. Let's start off with Revelation 2:9. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Let's break that down. This is Yahweh Shai speaking. He's saying he know thy works in tribulation. We go through many tribulations as the chosen seed, man. Some of us may have to work 2 jobs, just to get by, in the society. And with these two jobs, it's still barely enough to get by. Barely enough to enjoy, yourself and other things that you may want to do. Once you're done paying all these bills, everything is a bill, man. I'm surprised, breathing oxygen, I'm surprised we don't have a bill for that, But just like the scripture said, in Baruch, that we will be subject unto payments, in this strange land. But verse 9 says, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty. So he's saying he knows we in poverty. He knows we in the ghettos and the low income areas in every city that you go to, man. He know that poverty. But it goes on to say, but thou art rich. Now how can we be rich in poverty? We spiritually rich, man, because of what's promised to us. All these other nations got their riches, financially, but we are rich because of what's promised to us, man. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Right? Because they're liars. And the elites know this, man. The elites know who the true Jews are. But they push the media and they allow the media to set these imposters on high to keep us on the bottom. Right? They push all this wickedness, this music, this entertainment, these movies, all to keep the Israelites in sin, so we can continue to glorify, things that we're not supposed to be glorifying. These rappers being put up on high, encouraging us to stay in sin. The longer they do this and promote that, the longer it's going to take for our people to wake up and come back to our heritage and our God, man. The longer it takes for us to get back to our God, the more we have to go along without him dealing with us, right? So let me get that verse 10 again. Fear none of those things. Oh, so it's like verse 9. I know thou works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And just like I said, man, how can we be rich, while we in poverty? And we rich because of those promises that's given to us, man. And when I say us, I mean the Israelites. So I'm gonna start at verse 4. This is the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 4. So like, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of God and the promises, whose are the fathers of Salakia, whose are the fathers, and of whom as concerning the flesh Christ came, who is over all, God bless forever. Amen. Now let's break that down. Verse 4 say, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption. What is the adoption? When Yahweh Shai, who the world called Jesus Christ, died for our sins, he didn't die for the world. He died for the Israelites. That's the adoption. And the glory and the covenants. The covenants are the promises, the ultimatums he gave us, so to speak. If we hold up our end of the deal, that he would come through and do something for us. For instance, he told us, if we, kept the commandments, that he would put us on high above all other nations like we were supposed to be. Let's get that again. Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of God. No other nations are receiving the service of God, man. We are the only ones who receive the service of God, man. But our people still neglect that, and the promises. What's another promise that's been given to the Israelites? Everlasting life. What's better than immortality, man? Man. Verse 5, whose are the fathers, right? And of whom as concerning the flesh Christ came. When he came in the flesh, he died for us, man, just like I said. Who was over all. God bless forever, amen. Right? So we are over all the other nations. It's not hard to see that, man. Our physical, abilities and strength outweighs all the other nations, man. We taking over every sport, man. And it's supposed to be that way spiritually as well. When we dealing with our power and our power is dealing with us, we definitely can't be touched by any other nation, man, in anything that we do. Before we move on, let's go back and get one more precept from the book of Revelation. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So like I was saying, man, whatever one may, reap, he's definitely going to sow at the end of the day, man. When it's all said and done, everybody's going to know who the true children of Israel are, man. First by these curses, and secondly, by all the things that, the scriptures said was going to happen, to the children of Israel in the end of days. How we're going to start waking back up to our heritage. How we're going to start rebuilding ourselves as a nation. And the great tribulations that we're going to have to go through when shit hit the fan, man. Like I said, man, it highly upsets me to the core when I see these imposters out, receiving all the recognition for being us, But, we have to remind ourselves that, a great recompense is going to be paid, man. It's going to be a big payback, No James Brown. But let's dive into some of these curses, man. Because these curses are how, we identify that we are the Israelites. And you have to fit these curses, that the Lord said was going to happen to the Israelites in order to call yourself an Israelite. To be able to call yourself the true Jew, the children of Israel. You would have to fit these curses, man. Let's dive straight into them. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28. I'm going to start at verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God. What does hearken mean? Hearken means to listen, right? And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Now, if the Lord loved everybody, why is he telling one certain group of people that if they kept his commandments, that he would set them on high above everyone else on the earth? That's because the Lord deals with his people, man. The Lord made everybody on earth, of course, we all know that, but he has a chosen people, man. Just like if you sitting at the park and you took your child to the park, and all the other kids out there acting bad, as well as your own child, you're going to chastise your child only because those other kids don't belong to you. You're going to chastise your child because that's your child. And that's the same way the Most High does with us, man, because we are his children. We are his chosen seed. So hence, we in poverty. We dealing with these curses. We under these curses, man. Because we chose not to listen and hearken, to the commandments that he told us to do, what he told us not to do. So he said that if we follow and listen his commandments, that he will put us on high above every other nation upon the earth. Now let's go down to the 15, Deuteronomy 28 and 15. And it reads, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So he told us it would be a blessing. We would receive blessings if we hearken, and curses if we didn't hearken. Now, like I said, these curses are how the Israelites identify that they are the children, of Israel, the chosen seed. Let's go on to verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Now, if you look around, go around, it don't matter where you go at, man. Who's in the bottom, in the lowest, state, in every city that you go to? The so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and Hispanics, man. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. We was out there in the field, man. Getting the skin beat off our back. Receiving no profit, no benefits from, the torture that we had to go through. Working to make somebody else rich, man, while we receiving pennies. That's modern day slavery, man. We making somebody else millions of dollars while they sitting down, probably at home sitting down, while we in their corporations, every day punching the clock and damn near breaking our back, man, to make somebody else rich. That's cursed, man. That's a curse. That's a curse in the city, man. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Our grocery stores, man, we don't own anything. The food that's in the grocery stores, it's not organic. All these GMOs and things that they use to, make more food and stuff, is not healthy for us, man. So that's our basket being cursed. Verse 18 says, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land. The fruit of the body is your children, man. So even your children's gonna be cursed, and their children's gonna be cursed, so forth and so on, because this is a generational curse until it's broken, man. So it's a never-ending cycle until we come back to these commandments, man. And the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. So our possessions, man. Let's go down to verse 20. Let's go down to verse 37. We can go through these curses all day, but I'm bringing out the ones that, that's going to hit. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations where the Lord shall lead thee. So what is an astonishment? An astonishment is a brother, walking across the street with his pants at his damn knees, man. Or a brother with a $5,000 car with $20,000 rims on it. 38-inch rims on a damn Mustang. That's an astonishment, man. Our women with all these different color weaves in their head and loud and ghetto and shameless, all out in public, man. That's an astonishment, right? A proverb and a byword. A byword is anything but the name that the Lord gave you. Nigga, coon, Sambo, spick, wetback, We've all been called bywords, throughout generations, man. Afro-American, African-American, Puerto Rican, Mexican, jigaboo. All these are bywords, man. These are every name but what the Lord gave us. So it said we will be a proverb and a byword among all nations. So it's not a secret, man. All nations call us the same thing. Right? Among all nations where the Lord shall lead thee. So wherever you go, man, it's the same. We're going to be called a byword no matter where we at, man. Verse 41, thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. Right? So in slavery, man, when they had kids, man, they didn't get to enjoy their kids. Their kids went right in the fields too, man. Right? Verse 44 says, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. But let's get the context on that. Verse 43, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. And the stranger that is talking about is the so-called white man, because he was a stranger that came and took us from our land. He the one came and took us, and brought us over here against our will, man. So they were the strangers. Right? So let's get that again. He shall lend, Salakia, 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. One may say, well, what is he lending to us? Government assistance, welfare, food stamps, child support. All the way on down to your payday advance loans in your neighborhoods. Right? It says he shall be the head and thou shalt be the tail. Meaning he's the head, man. We got to go to him for everything that we need and want. And this is the reason why, man. Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Because we didn't listen, man. We didn't listen when he said, all you have to do is keep these commandments, and I'll make you better than everybody else. Right? We want to go and worship other gods and do what we wanted to do, man. Our people have been hard-headed since way back when. That's why we in the condition that we in now, and continue to be in the condition that we in, because we don't care to change it. Our people don't even consider, man. Let's get that again, though. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and statutes which he commanded thee. Right? Let's jump down to verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, not our friends, which the Lord shall send against thee. Now let's pause right there. One may say, well, who's these enemies that we're going to be serving? Look around today, man. Who do we serve? Who do we go to work, and punch the clock to work for? Who do we have to go to everything for, man, in this society, in this world? Right? Let's get that again. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness. When we hungry, we want to go, to the grocery store. Who owns that grocery store? We don't. When we thirsty, go to get some water, we buy water from the store. That's the same store that, we have to go to if we getting our groceries. So there's no question about who owns that. Right? It says, shall sin against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness. Now, last time I checked, we don't own our clothing stores. We don't own any thread shops. So there's no question about who we have to go to for our clothes as well. Let's read on. And in want of all things. So if we want anything, we got to go to the so-called white man, which the Bible just called our enemy. What? White people are our enemy? That's right, man. The Lord said it. Let's read on. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Right? Our people are destroyed as hell, man. Our people are destroyed as hell. And by choice, they choose to stay that way. Right? Let's read down to verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far. Right? From the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle flieth. And everybody know they exalt themselves as an eagle. What's on the back of your paper dollar? An eagle. What's their symbol? An eagle. Let's read on. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Because we was speaking Hebrew, man. Our original heritage, was one of the things in our heritage was the language. Speaking Hebrew. When they came, they were speaking gibberish, man. We didn't know what they was talking about. We just know they took us by force. Let's get that again, the last part. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance. Right? Which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Because just like we said, man, there was, whether you was old, on down to 5, 6, 7 years old, you was in that field, man. You was getting your back beat in that field. Right? It don't matter, man. Let's jump down to verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. See right there where it says even wood and stone? That's where we get all these different religions from, man. When these people worshiping idols, man. Muslim, Lutheran, Seventh-day Adventist. All these come from the original scriptures, man. All these man-made religions. These are other gods. You in idolatry when you worshiping wood and stone. You bowing down to the Kaaba. And these statues and stuff. Buddhism and all this wickedness, man. So our people have been scattered amongst the four corners of the earth, man. That's why you got brothers in Brazil and you even got brothers all the way over in China, man. And what happened to us when we were scattered in these different, corners of the earth and all over these other nations, amongst these other nations and people. 65, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease. That's what happened, man. We didn't find no ease amongst these other nations being up under the rulership of these other, people. Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. Right? feeling like you're out of place, feeling like you don't know what's next, unsureness, just like it says here in verse 66, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. Having none assurance of thy life, is an example of waking up, not knowing your purpose, man, not knowing what you have to live for. In some of the states in America here, our men fear their lives because of how much the police been killing young black unarmed men. That's an example of fearing day and night, man. Not sure when the next traffic stop gonna end up, being a damn cemetery burial. Right? And it's the uppercut right here, man. Because in order for this to have happened to you, you cannot call yourself a true Jew, or Israeli, whatever, or Israelite. None of that, man. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bond men and bond women, and no man shall buy you. Select him. And there go that word enemy, the enemies again. So who did this happen to, man? Last time I checked, our people was the only ones who went into slavery on slave ships, man. And when we got to the land, were we not sold to different slave owners? 35, sold to Master Johnson. They probably had all kind of 2-for-1 deals and all kind of different sales on our asses, man. So out of all, man, this curse right here definitely doesn't fit, these imposters, man. They for damn sure didn't come over here on those slave ships, man. And a lot of them know it. Look around, man. The scriptures tell us that the Jews will be in a low state, every city, state, and continent that you go into, man. Do these imposters look like they on the bottom, in every city, state, and continent, wherever you go? Nah, man. These devils own everything, man. They own every damn thing. From the news and TV networks, to record labels, movies and entertainment, even some of your favorite sports teams, man. They owned by these fake Jews. From having gated communities, to millions of dollars paid to them in reparations every year, man. That's a slap in the face to the true children of Israel, man. The true Hebrews. Like I said, man, these devils own everything. In the scriptures said it would be that way. Right? This is the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. And it reads, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Though I were righteous, yet.
Right? So like, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. Who are the judges? Who are the judges, that had their faces covered? The true men of the Lord, man. The prophets. And the judge of all judges himself, man. Yahweh, who the world calls God. And his son Yahweh Shai, who the world's called Jesus Christ. They painted their own images, to hide the true identity, of the Messiah and the Father, man. And that's because the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, for our punishment. Because we didn't want to hearken and listen to the Most High, man. Right? So I got one more scripture to close this out, man. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled, right? They are all of them snared in holes. Snared means trap. You know, and holes is subliminal, man. It's a parable, right? They are all of them snared in holes. We trapped in the ghettos, man. We trapped in this in the you know what I'm saying? In the you know, in society's loopholes, man. Those are the holes that we trapped in, man. The child support system, that's a snare. You know, that's a trap for the black man, so-called black man. You know, let's get that again. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey. Just like how you get, you know, some policemen who wake up, you know, curious about how many, you know, black men they're gonna have to take down today, or how many black men they can take down, kill, and get away with it. You know, hold themselves not guilty. You know, we are for a prey, man. Every other nation preys upon us, man. And none delivereth. Nobody help us out of the shit that we in. They put us down, and they you know, they kick us in the dirt and laugh while we down there. And they continue to kick us while we down in the dirt. Let's start that again, man. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none self-restore. Nobody give a damn about helping us, you know, overcome the things that we go through. If anything, they are amazed at how we can still be standing after so much that we went through, man. That's because the Spirit of the Lord is on us, man. We are His people. We are His children, man. That's how we can endure all the shit that we endured, man, and still be pushing. You know, whether we in this truth or out this truth, man. We are spiritually stronger, man. That's why you don't have, you know, mass shootings and all this shit. You know, when we going through what we going through, we used to going through this shit. But soon as, you know, so-called white man, you know, his family leave him, you know, he lose his job.